What's going on, everyone? This is Vince with VShred.com, and if you are struggling with growing your arms, with getting your biceps bigger, then in today's video, I'm going to help you fix that. I'm going to show you 5 exercises that you may or may not be doing that are going to be amazing for getting bigger biceps.
I'ma keep on going up till the lights go down.
All right, so like I said, in today's video, we're gonna be going through 5 different bicep exercises, and I'm gonna try to go with some exercises that are probably a little more unique than what you're used to. We're not just gonna be going with regular bicep curls or just regular barbell curls. We're gonna be doing a couple different variations of those types of curls, and then some other types of curls that you're probably not doing right now that are gonna be amazing to just throw into your routine, and also to hit both heads of the bicep, because one thing you guys gotta understand when you're hitting your biceps is that they're called biceps for a reason, because there are 2 heads. There are 2 heads. You got your short head, which is more on the inside of your bicep, and you got your long head, which is more on the outside of your bicep. So these exercises that I'm gonna show you today, I'm gonna also tell you which head they're going to favor more, or if it's just one that's good for overall bicep engagement with both heads. Now, before I do that real quick, I just wanna say, getting big arms is awesome, but if you're that person going to the gym every single day and all you're doing are bicep curls, your biceps aren't going to grow as fast as they would if you were doing a total training program where you're hitting back and doing compound lifts and hitting chest and triceps, because also your triceps make up the latter portion of your upper arm. So you got to make sure you're hitting all the different muscle groups. You got to make sure you're following a total training plan if you want help figuring out what type of exercises and even dieting you should be doing to get your physique where you want it. I do have a body type quiz that tells you what you should be doing in and out of the gym so that you can just get real results and get in the shape that you want to be in. And if you want to check that out, like I said, it's free. I'll put a link to it down in the description below this video. You can check it out if you want. But let's get into these exercises. This is going to be a similar exercise to what you see all the time, where we have an easy bar, and it is going to be an easy bar curl variation, but we're gonna be doing negatives. So this is gonna be an easy bar curl negative. What I mean by that is, we're going a lot heavier than we normally would, and so we're only gonna be going for 6 to 8 reps here. But negative means that we are going to cheat the way up, and we are going to go slow on the way down, because one thing that's interesting about the biceps is you can force more growth by going slow on the way down. They actually respond better to a slow eccentric. And so if you're struggling with breaking a plateau with your arm size, going slower on the way down and overloading your muscle on the way down is gonna be a great way to just force a little bit more growth. So with easy bar curl negatives, this is what we're gonna be doing. So I have the easy bar curl here. I got 35 pounds on each side. And I've already predetermined that this is about the right weight for 6 to 8 reps, where I'm forcing it up and then going slow on the way down. So I'm gonna show you how to do this correctly. I'm gonna grab that outer side of it. I'm not going the inner grip. I'm going the outer grip, which is just about in line with my shoulders. So grabbing this is also just a heavy exercise, so you're gonna hit both heads. But what we're gonna be doing here, like I said, we're not just going a regular curl where we're going strict on the way up and the way down. I'll only be able to get like 3 or 4 of those. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend over yay far, and then I'm going to drive my hips forward, almost like I'm doing like a hang clean or something, and I'm going to curl this weight up at the same time. So right there, didn't use much effort to get that weight up. Forcing it up, and then what you're gonna do is lock your elbows into place and focus on about a 5-second eccentric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bending over, forcing it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bending over, forcing it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just basically doing that for 6 to 8 reps. That's the first one. A great way to overload the muscle, a great way to overload the eccentric contraction of that curl. But now let's get into the second one. All right, so for the second exercise, we're gonna be doing a Zotman curl. And so what a Zotman curl is basically you're grabbing some weight, and you wanna go a little lighter than you're probably used to, because this is gonna be all about tension. And so you're going to essentially, so you're supinating your wrists at the bottom. You're going to curl up. That is going to favor your short head, because a supinated wrist always favors the short head. So you're going to curl up like that. And then at the top, what you're going to do is you're going to pronate your wrists. And so by pronating your wrists at the top with a neutral or a pronated grip, that's what helps favor your long head more. So we're going to go short head on the way up, flip it over, pronated on the way down, hitting your long head. So going up and down, focusing on tension. I'll show you what it looks like. I like to rest the weight just in front of my hips, just like that. I don't like to start back here because that allows this. You can start to throw the weight around. If you start right there, your biceps are already engaged and you're a lot more strict with your form. So curling up, get it all the way to the top, flip it over, get your palms facing down, and then return back down slowly. Go just in front of your hips, flip it back over, up. Flip it over again, back down. And again, try to keep your elbows in that same spot as I curl up. Try to get that peak contraction at the top, flipping it over, keeping that peak contraction, letting it go all the way down to the bottom. And here, we're gonna be going for about 10 reps. And so you're not going very heavy here, unlike the last exercise, we're going for time under tension. So if you can curl, I don't know, if normally you use 35 pounds for just regular dumbbell curls, where you're just going like that, you're probably gonna drop down to 25s, just because this is going to be a lot different. There's a lot of pronation and supination going on with your wrists. Keep tension throughout the entire thing. That's how you're gonna make this exercise the most effective. But now, let's move on to exercise number 3. For this exercise, we are going to grab a bench and we are going to put this at an incline. And the reason why is because we're doing spider curls. So if you don't know what spider curls are, essentially it is just a chest supported curl where your arms are hanging out in front of you. This is going to favor the short head because your arm is going to be in front of your body. So this is going to help that inner head there, help with the thickness of the bicep. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my chest on this. I want my upper chest just at the top of this so that I can just essentially hang my arms down and really focus on keeping my elbow in that same spot. I'm gonna grab these weights. And again, you're not going super heavy here. I got 25s. I'm going to start with my wrists neutral. So I'm having my wrists pointing each other, pointing in, facing in. And then from there, as I curl up, I am going to supinate my wrists so that my wrists are going to come up at the top. So going from here, curling up. And as you notice, one thing you want to avoid is having your elbows come back like that. The whole point is to keep your elbows in front of your body. So look at them, find where your elbows are, and really focus on driving this weight forward by bending your elbows and keeping them in that same spot, curling up to the top, getting that peak contraction, returning back down to that neutral position with your wrists, and again, supinating as you curl up. So going nice and slow, keeping tension throughout. And here, I would probably go a little higher rep because we are focusing on one head more than the other. We are focusing on that short head a little bit more. So generally when I'm hitting a specific muscle group or a specific head of a muscle group, I am going to go a little bit lighter so that A, I can focus on time under tension, and B, just form. That's exercise number 3. Now let's get into number 4. What we're gonna be doing is an exercise that focuses or targets the long head, the outer head a little bit more. And this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, bicep exercise. But what we're gonna do is, as you can see, this incline bench is pretty much down to where you would do like an incline dumbbell press. But instead of doing an incline dumbbell press, we're gonna be doing some curls. So grab this weight. Again, you're going to go lighter than you probably normally would with these because I'm going super strict with my form and my arm's gonna be behind my body. I'm only going 25s and this could get heavy for me. So from here, what I'm doing is I'm just simply making sure that my elbows are behind my body. That is what puts that long head into the most advantageous state. So right here, keeping my elbows back behind, I'm going to keep them in that same spot and I am going to simply hammer curl this weight up as high as I can without letting my elbow come forward, keeping my elbow back, and then returning back down slowly, not locking out my arms, so I'm not doing that. I'm stopping right there and then going right back up into the next rep, squeezing at the top and going back down. And so one thing that you should also be aware of here is going slow on the eccentric. There have been studies that show that basically when you go slower on the way down, when you are trying to target the long head, that promotes more muscular growth. So I want you to focus on controlled on the way up and going slow on the way down. Controlled on the way up, slow on the way down. And keeping that elbow in that same spot the entire time, that is going to help you hit that outer head of your bicep and get it to pop more on that outside part of your arm. So that's exercise number 4. Now let's get into another short head type of bicep exercise, the 5th one. All right, so the 5th and final exercise that we're gonna be doing are face curls. So as you can tell, getting down on the ground, I got a cable right behind me. I got this about a little lower than halfway up because essentially I am laying under this cable and I am reaching straight up and I am curling towards my face. So as I mentioned before, when you're trying to hit that short head, your elbow in front of your body is going to put it in that better position so that you can actually hit that better. So what we're doing here is laying directly, or I'm gonna lay a little out from under it, so that bar should probably be just at the top of your forehead. I'm gonna reach up. I'm also going to grab this bar on the inside. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow my arms to extend fully, but I'm also going to start flexing my biceps. So there's a difference between this and this. Right now, I'm already working my biceps. I'm not necessarily contracting it yet, but I'm flexing. So I'm going to start flexing, curl towards my forehead, really focus on squeezing right there, and then returning back slowly all the way up, but again, not locking out my arms, keeping a nice little bend, keeping my biceps flexed, going in, squeezing at the top right there, returning back slowly, keeping those arms flexed, going into the next rep, squeezing, and just going through this right here, never losing that tension. I can't stress enough how important it is to keep tension on your arms throughout the entire set, especially when you're working such a small muscle group like the biceps. Keep that in mind whenever you're doing any of these exercises. There's always a method to the madness, depending on what exercise you're doing. Just like the exercise that we started with the forced negatives, we're cheating it up, but then we're overloading the muscle on the way down. Aside from that exercise, every single exercise that we did today, we focused on time under tension and nice, slow, controlled reps. I can't stress that enough. So that's it for today, guys. If you have any other video recommendations that you guys want me to talk about, any muscle groups that you want me to cover, maybe best exercises for back or shoulders or triceps or quads or whatever it might be, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you're clicking that thumbs up button below. That really helps us out with the channel and getting other people to see videos like this. If they're struggling with getting their biceps bigger, this should help them as well, but it's not gonna help them if you don't click that thumbs up button below. Also, it lets me know that you actually like these videos. Also, subscribe to the channel. Check out that body type quiz if you want help with getting in shape, aside from just this bicep workout. But that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped, and I will see you in the next one.